We now have the Zambia national anthem. So I'd like to invite Sheikh Bilal Vali to lead us in a word of prayer.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وإن تبدوا ما في أنفسكم أو تخفوه يحاسبكم به الله فيغفر لمن يشاء ويعذب من يشاء والله على كل شيء قدير. آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون كل آمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله وقالوا سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إسرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. صدق الله العظيم. At the very onset, I would like to draw your attention towards a very important verse that the Almighty Lord mentions in the glorious Quran with regards to our nation as compared to the previous nations that came and have perished. Almighty Allah says, Kuntum khayra ummah. You are the best of nations. Why have we been classified the best of nations? The Almighty answers in this very verse by saying, كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس. You are the best of nations because you have been raised for the benefit of mankind, for the service to humanity. Indeed, service to humanity makes us the best amongst the rest. And it is these type of industries that provide essential necessities to the general public at affordable rates that we need to be grateful of and give our full support, since they provide a great service to humanity. by buying the raw materials, processing them, packing them, delivering them to convenient locations where people can have easy access to them. Service to humanity is service-minded and community-oriented. To live not a selfish lifestyle and worry not about oneself only, but rather be worried and focused about the broader concerns for humanity. Indeed, friends and elders, the challenges that Mother Zambia faces today cannot be denied. But when we compare ourselves to some of our neighbors, we will be compelled to acknowledge that we are still under the shadow of the Almighty Lord, and the Almighty has neither disowned us nor has He forsaken us. We are still part of His family and still under His care every single day, every single hour, minute and second of our life. We still have many essentials at our doorstep which others in the neighborhood do not possess. It is only right for us to thank the Almighty wholeheartedly for the bounties and blessings that we cherish at this moment, and have patience on the little difficulties that we face today. We are hopeful that these difficulties are short-lived and better promising days lie ahead where we shall see a brighter light at the end of the tunnel. Dear listeners, the need of the hour is to sincerely repent to the Almighty Lord for all our shortcomings and beg Him for His mercy so that we may receive the much needed beneficial rainfall that can fill our valleys, our streams, our dams, our reservoirs, our rivers and our lakes, so that Mother Zambia and the neighboring countries can get back onto business and prosper as it used to prosper in the past. With these few words, I request one and all to pray with me by raising your hands and supplicating to the Almighty. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. ربنا اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار. O Master of the universe, O Sustainer, O Nourisher, O the most merciful, most compassionate, O Master of the Day of Judgment, You alone do we call on for help. Guide us to the right path. Guide us to the path of those whom You have favored and not of those who have earned Your wrath. O Controller of the hearts and minds, guide us, guide our leaders towards that which is beneficial for everybody. Guide us in our meetings, our proposals, our advices, our resolutions and our decisions. Drag us by our forelocks towards the best path, towards a path which is best for us and for the whole nation at large. O Almighty, as we assemble here today for the opening of this maize mill, we beseech You for Your blessings in its infrastructure, in its fixtures and fittings, in its human resources and machinery. We beg You for Your support and assistance in its day-to-day operations, in its production and deliveries to the general public. O Almighty Lord, bless its raw materials and its final produce. Bless its turnover and its profits. O Almighty, bless its directors, managers and laborers, and guide them all towards that which will be in the best interest and the interest of humanity at large. O Almighty, make our gathering here today a gathering of forgiveness. Make our parting from one another today such that we abstain from sins, and do not deprive us all from Your mercy and Your blessings. اللهم اجعل خير عمرنا آخرة وخير عملنا خواتمة وخير أيامنا نلقاك فيه. اللهم ارشد أئمتنا وولاة أمورنا. جزا الله عنا نبينا محمدا صلى الله عليه وسلم ما هو أهله. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
The guest of honor is Excellency Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, the President of the Republic of Zambia, Honorable Davis Mwila, Secretary General of the ruling Patriotic Front, Honorable Michael Katambo, MP, Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Bowman Lusambo, MP, Minister of Lusaka Province, Honorable Freedom Skazwe, Presidential Affairs Minister, Honorable Oli Papiri, Minister in the Office of the Vice President, the Mayor of the Greater City of Lusaka, His Worship, Mr. Mao Sampa, Permanent Secretaries and all senior government officials, those senior party officials, Mr. Zaid Patel, Chairman, African Meeting Limited, Chief Executive Officers of various banks here present, and the business community that is present, management and staff of African Meeting Limited, colleagues from the media, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome you all to the official opening of the African Meeting New Maize plant being held today, Friday, 16th December in the year 2019. Compliments of the season to everyone present here. I'm your Director of Ceremonies. My name is Herbert Mutabi. Without your time, guest of honor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to, at this juncture, invite Mr. Zaid Patel, Chairman of African Meeting Limited, to give us some remarks. Let's give him a big hand.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zambia, Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, the Secretary General of the PF Party, the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, the Provincial Minister, Lusaka Province, Your Worship, the Mayor of Lusaka, all other Cabinet Ministers present, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, the PF Party officials present, all stakeholders in attendance, invited guests. May I simply say all protocols observed. It gives me great pleasure today to welcome you all to the official launch of the African Maize Mill Expansion Project. We gather today at a critical and challenging time of our nation as we brave through one of the worst droughts the country has faced in decades. Zambia, despite being praised as the forerunner of African growth, irregular rainfall patterns and high temperatures have hindered the momentum of our economic development. One of the key sectors that has been hit the hardest is the agricultural sector, which inevitably trickles down to the milling industry. Consequently, in the past few months, we have witnessed rising milling meal prices, which affects the poor Zambian the most. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, the commissioning of the African Maize Mill Expansion Project is a wave of hope amid the storm. In spite of the many challenges faced, with perseverance, determination, hard work, and teamwork, we have managed to achieve what seemed to be far-fetched. Similarly, I believe we can get through this difficult time that our nation is facing as long as we persevere, stay determined, work hard, and work together. We have to plan adequately and prepare today for the food security of our nation for the years to come. As Malcolm X said, and I quote, "The future belongs to those who prepare today." End of quote. Respected audience, before I proceed any further, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude and appreciation to Your Excellency on behalf of not only the milling industry, but indeed on behalf of the milling fraternity for having taken out time from Your Excellency's busy schedule to grace us with your presence at this commissioning ceremony. Your Excellency's presence today is a testimony of your continued commitment and unwavering efforts in ensuring food security and affordable milling meal for all Zambians. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, this project would not have been possible had it not been for this government's sound economic policies and stable business environment, which has created conducive conditions to encourage and facilitate investments of this nature. This was apparent in our dealings with all relevant government departments who played a fundamental role in enabling its successful completion, for which we are deeply grateful. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, African Milling was established in 2006, consisting of a maize mill with a milling capacity of 168 metric tons per day. In 2010, we set up a 120 metric ton per day wheat milling plant to cater for the increasing demand of wheat, flour and bread in the country. The demand for milling meal, the staple food of Zambia, is ever increasing, with milling companies struggling to supply at the required rate, resulting in rising milling meal prices. It is this state of affairs and aspiration to provide milling meal to the Zambian consumer at affordable prices that prompted African Milling to increase its milling capacity further. To address the current rising milling meal prices, we are working very closely with FRA and Grain Traders Association of Zambia on a tripartite agreement which is being concluded. And I want to mention to you, Your Excellency, that we will drop milling meal prices from next week. Your Excellency, the expansion consists of state-of-the-art Bueller machinery, which consists of a 336 metric tons per day, double of its current capacity. This brings our total milling capacity to 504 metric tons per day, thereby making it amongst the top 5 milling companies in Zambia. The total value of the investment in the new plant is $20 million and will increase our number of employees from 150 to 250. Your Excellency, today is a milestone moment, not only for African Milling, but for us as the Nyimba group of companies as a whole, as we take a big step forward in our continuous efforts to serve our country ever more effectively. We are involved in the entire value chain process, where we supply the Zambian farmer with fertilizer inputs, buy crop from the small-scale farmers. Thereafter, we transport the grain to our milling plants using our own fleet of trucks, where the grain is processed to final products which are distributed throughout the country using our own depot network. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, what does this new milling plant mean for the industry and for the country? It means more employment, better food security, more product on the market, which translates into lowering prices, more investment in the economy, which creates opportunities for growth. Furthermore, it also contributes to the government's long-term vision of diversifying the economy from mining into tourism, manufacturing and agriculture. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, if our agriculture and manufacturing sectors are nurtured well, Zambia has the potential of becoming the food basket of Southern and Central Africa. With a bumper harvest, we can not only supply maize, but also milling meal as a value-added finished product into the DRC and other neighboring countries, bringing in the much-needed foreign exchange. Your Excellency, respected audience, I would like to take this opportunity to recognize and acknowledge the role of all those people and institutions whose contribution was vital in making the African Milling Expansion Project possible, starting from our financiers, Stanbic Bank and NOSAD, as without their support, it would have been impossible to not only complete, but even embark on this project. I would like to thank our other financiers, including ATIF and Atlas Mara. Thank you to all our contractors, who are notably all local Zambian companies, except for Beulah, for their technical know-how. Thank you to all respective government departments for your cooperation and facilitation of all legal matters. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to all our suppliers and customers for facilitating our business continuity, notably ShopRite, who has enabled our products reach countrywide. Thank you to the entire African Milling management and staff for all your efforts and contributions towards the successful completion of this mega milling project. Above all, I would like to thank the Almighty Allah for His blessings and for enabling us to complete this project successfully and on time. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, the journey of African milling growth does not end here. We plan to embark on establishing a stock feed manufacturing plant to add value to the byproducts of milling, that is maize bran and wheat bran. We are certain, Your Excellency, that your government will be as supportive in our planned future developments as they have been for this expansion project. Respected audience, before I conclude, I would like to once more express our heartfelt appreciation to Your Excellency for gracing us with your presence despite your busy and demanding schedule. Your Excellency, we look forward to working with your government in ensuring a steady supply of milling meal at affordable prices and positively contribute towards food security, not just today, but for the future generations to come. A society and nation grow great when the older generation plant trees whose shade they know they shall never sit in. This is indeed the legacy of Your Excellency. Posterity will remember Your Excellency for these good works. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I sincerely thank you for attending and for lending us your time. Thank you.
Guest of honor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, before I invite the Minister for Lusaka Province for his remarks, allow me at this point to invite Tikondane Cultural Group all the way from Nyimba. Let's give them a big hand.
Attention! You know! Take encourage my consumers. They should buy this African milling meal.
Yes.
Don't buy illegal this
In the
rubbish, which Mr. Tenten bought. This is special, super milling. Super milling meal. Buy this milling meal, please. You shall enjoy it. Even your children, they will enjoy it. It's a nice milling meal. Tenten. Are we together?
Yes.
Mukakabe kwa chinzi basiku ya Tenten. Hata nikarawile leo.
Kyoyambirira bonto omutikamikire atata a Edgar Chagwa Lungu, the father of the nation. Kuti tata tikuti ziko mopolola ma investors kuwela muno mu Zambia. Kulingana na policy ya Zambia yufuna ma investors banyinji. Ma investors kuwela mu board kuseza pamozi na government ilipo lomba. Tata lekani mulungu akudaliseni. Lekani mulungu akunyamuleni. Tukikira ni masi kwa mulungu pasogolo. Fertilizer tiwela pa nthawi yake talimi. Tingopemba kuli nyamalenga kuti mvula ipake. Chifukwa the whole Zambia mulimali yesa na fertilizer. Kuli hata kadanda ule. Napano fertilizer ya sala chifukwa cha nyumba investment. Yaleta fertilizer yokwanira. Tata tikuti zikomo mulungu akudaliseni. Ndipo agonjezereni masiku. Ambia akudaliseni. Zikomo. Nyumba investment Bwana Gulam, Bwana Zaidi na department yao yose yata segure ya chigayo cha Nyowani kuti pitirisha ngushita invest muno muziko latu la Zambia kuti bana basu wapeze nchito tikuti zikomo. Wasili japo? Yes, I'm finished. Go. Go.
Guest of honor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite at this point Honorable Losambo MP, Provincial Minister, Lusaka Province. Let's give him a big hand.
I will adopt the salutation from our Master of Ceremony, which has been established earlier. May I recognize the presence of our guest of honor, the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, the Commander-in-Chief of Defense Forces. May I recognize the presence of our Secretary General of our mighty party, PF, Comrade Davis Mwira. May I also recognize the presence of the Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Katambo, Member of Parliament for Masaiti. May I also recognize the board and management and staff of African Meeting. Your Excellency, for us as Lusaka Province, we are very excited that in the recent past we have seen unprecedented development in our province. Your Excellency, the project which you have come to witness today, the expansion of African milling, Your Excellency, it is the project which we have received as Lusaka Province. Your Excellency, we have seen in the recent past in our province the increase of food processing, especially the milling companies. Very soon, Your Excellency, you'll be officiating the opening of one milling company in Chongwe and many other milling companies which have been dotted in our province, especially your initiative of solar hammer mills, which we have here in Lusaka Province, 61 of them. With the promising of our learning pattern and also the bumper harvest which we're expecting, Your Excellency, definitely we will see the reduction in the mid meal prices in our country. Your Excellency, all these things which we are witnessing as Lusaka province, they are not just coming by accident. They are coming because of your good leadership which you have exhibited. African Meeting, they have opted to invest in any other country, but they have decided to invest millions of dollars here in Zambia because of your good leadership. Your Excellency, as a country and as a province, we have enjoyed peace, and this peace, Your Excellency, it's because of your good leadership. You are working 24/7 to make sure that we uplift the living standard of our people in all parts of our country, including Dudumwezi, Mpongwe, and Kavushi constituency. Your Excellency, this is not my show. I'm just excited because just yesterday you are officiating at a Zampi investment which has come also in Zambia and Lusaka in particular with a sum of $30 million. For us, Your Excellency, we want to promise the investor, especially African Meeting, that we will work with you as Lusaka Provincial Administration, and our aim as Lusaka Provincial Administration, our first investor is the indigenous Zambians, those who are sitting and standing behind there. Those are the people we work with. Your Excellency, this is not my show. I just want to welcome all of you, especially you, Your Excellency, because we know that your office is a very busy office and you'll find time to come and be with us at this important event. I thank you and may God bless you all. Thank you.
Vale. Ya hebetie. Bwanji. President Rupia Banda. Bwanji kulirai. Okay. Tili kuma industries huku. Waliko President Lungu Okay, ni wauje. Wangasio ropageti kaunga. Okay, ni zawauza. Zikom. President Lungu, so Rupia Banda is saying, as you go get a bag of milk, you leave it at the gate state house, you pick it. Allow me now to call upon Honorable Michael Katambo, MP, Minister of Agriculture, to deliver his remarks, and he will in turn invite our guest of honor for the keynote speech. A big hand for Honorable Katambo.
Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Force, Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, our Patriotic Front Secretary General, Honorable Davis Moila, the Deputy Secretary General, Honorable Mumbipiri, members of the Central Committee present, Honorable Bowman Lusambo, MP, Minister, Lusaka Province, the Honorable Minister, Presidential Affairs, Honorable Freedom Skazwe, MP, the Honorable Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry, Honorable Christopher Yaluma, MP, the Honorable Minister in the Vice President's Office, Honorable Ori Papiri, MP, Your Worship, the Mayor of the great city of Lusaka, Mr. Mao Sampa, the Provincial Chairman, Patriotic Front Lusaka Province, and our party leadership in the province, Permanent Secretary Ziambo in the Ministry of Agriculture, the Permanent Secretary is present, the National Coordinator, Disaster Management and Medication Unit, Mr. Chanda, Mr. Zaid Patel, Executive Chairman, African Milling, the Millers Association of Zambia Chairman, the Grain Traders Association of Zambia Chairperson, other stakeholders present, the management and staff of African Milling Limited, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, May I also join my colleagues and the chairman of African Milling in welcoming you to this event today. In particular, a special welcome goes to you, Your Excellency, because despite of your busy schedule, you have found time to join us in acknowledging this remarkable expansion project by African Milling Limited. Your presence, Your Excellency, definitely signifies the importance you attach to the agriculture industry in Zambia. Today is another milestone in this very exciting sector. Your government and good policies, Your Excellency, that you have continued to enable this growth of the agriculture sector, and we are witnesses today. Your Excellency, the expansion of the milling industry in Zambia is a very positive signal for the farming community in the nation. This is because it signifies that farmers can grow as much maize as possible, knowing very well that the maize will be absorbed for processing for the local and export market. It is therefore very important that farmers position themselves and benefit from the increased demand for agricultural products by the milling industry. Your Excellency, your Ministry of Agriculture does recognize that low productivity, especially among small-scale farmers, is a very serious challenge that has made it very difficult for farmers to be consistent in producing agricultural commodities to satisfy the industry needs. To reverse this unfortunate situation, your Ministry of Agriculture, Excellency, is committed to supporting farmers to ensure productivity increases, as this will ensure important industries like the milling industry has enough supply of raw materials to function. To demonstrate this, Your Excellency, your ministry's commitment is to ensure that productivity of our farmers improves. And I wish to update you, Your Excellency, that 2 days ago, your ministry hosted a workshop at the Mulungushi International Conference Center. The conference attracted the participation of key players in the agricultural industry. The objective of the conference was to generate practical solutions and to agree on action plans for measures to be implemented to transform the agriculture sector. You may wish to note, Your Excellency, that from the conference consensus was reached that improving the productivity of small-scale farmers should be the main focus for the sector in the short to medium term. I'm happy also to report, Your Excellency, that from the conference, your ministry and the Sustainable Development Goals Center for Africa reached an agreement to jointly implement a project that will boost the productivity of maize and cassava farmers in Zambia. I must be quick to mention that there are more developments taking place in the agriculture sector, but I'm fully aware that today the stage, Your Excellency, belongs to you. And in my conclusion, Your Excellency, allow me to congratulate African Milling Limited for this major investment in the milling industry. Let me guarantee you that you have our ministry's support at all times. Your Excellency, it is now my honor and privilege to call upon you to deliver your remarks.
The Secretary General of the Patriotic Front, Honorable Davis Mwila, the Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Michael Katambo, MP, Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry, Honorable Christopher Yaluma, MP, Provincial Minister, Lusaka Province, Honorable Bowman Lusambo, MP, other Cabinet Ministers present, His Worship the Mayor of the City of Lusaka, Councillor Miles Sampa, senior government officials, the Chairman of African Milling Limited, Mr. Zaidi Patel, management and employees of African Milling Limited, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm very delighted to grace the commissioning of the African Milling Maize Meal Expansion Project. It is indeed a joyous occasion because the company I am launching today is a locally created one, and its process commenced in 2006 for it to reach this stage. The expansion project by African Milling is expected to increase milling capacity to 506 metric tons of maize per day. With this production capacity, I'm aware that this plant is supposed to run at full capacity, hence the need to address load shedding to ensure adequate maize meal supply. The adequate and steady maize supply in the country will cushion the escalating meal prices. My government has been making frantic efforts to ensure maize production is improved in the current farming season. Government, for this reason, has distributed farming inputs before the onset of the rains to most areas in the country. This achievement is unprecedented. This achievement is unprecedented. In this regard, I wish to thank all partners for supporting the government's effort in ensuring that farming inputs are delivered on time. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me also take this opportunity to urge all farmers to to emulate African milling, which is not only focusing on milling, but also supplies inputs to farmers. In addition, the company operates a trading wing which buys maize and other products from farmers to ensure constant supply of raw materials for milling. This is a model which other millers should adopt. This approach will complement the efforts of the Food Reserve Agency, FRA, for cheap supplies and reduce dependence by millers. By law, the Food Reserve Agency can only intervene when there is a maize shortage on the market, or when the minimum price goes beyond the reach of ordinary Zambians. I wish to underscore that the days of millers depending on cheap maize from FRA are long gone. For the avoidance of doubt, let me repeat that the days of millers depending on cheap maize from FRA are long gone. Millers are therefore encouraged to buy maize from farmers. Millers are encouraged to buy maize from farmers. The Food Reserve Agency is meant only to store strategic reserves, and this is the primary purpose why the agency was created. I appeal to millers who are not able to conduct maize buying on their own to instead subcontract grain traders to procure maize on their behalf. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm aware that there are players in the market who are holding maize under the pretext that they will realize exorbitant prices around January and February 2020. Such practices, I must say, create artificial shortages resulting in high meal prices. My advice to such players perpetrating maize speculation and hoarding is that they should desist from doing so, as this strategy is prone to failure. This is because government is in constant touch with farmers, millers, and grain traders through the Stocks Monitoring Committee under the Ministry of Agriculture. Through the Stock Monitoring Committee, the government has regularly monitored the maize supply situation in the country, and in this process, we are able to avoid food crisis. The Ministry of Agriculture, in collaboration with Central Statistics Office, has just concluded a rapid stocks assessment survey to establish the actual quantity of maize available in the country. To this effect, the Minister of Agriculture will soon be announcing to the nation the actual national food supply situation in the country to the 2020 harvest. I wish to assure the national food security situation is under control. Hence, there should be no need for worry. I'm sure the Minister will give you the actual figures very soon. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am confident that the creation of this market through expansion of this plant by African Milling, as well as other developments in the milling industry, will propel farmers to grow maize and service the local market and export surplus in the region. I wish to reiterate that this is a sure solution to the high milling meal prices in the country, and I'm happy, therefore, that the milling capacity in the country is increasing at a fast rate. Indeed, the developments taking place in the milling industry are a clear indication that the private sector is embracing government's policies of promoting private sector development and value addition. This you have already heard from the chairman of African Milling Company, that the environment is indeed conducive for investment. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this milling company we are commissioning today, I've been informed, has invested over $20 million United States dollars. It is my sincere hope that the financial institutions in the country will continue to support the private sector with affordable and innovative financial products to spur industrial growth. At this juncture, let me thank African Milling for its bold decision of confidence in the PF government and for making the decision to invest heavily to expand this plant. My government appreciates your company's contribution to national food security. Government is resolved to transforming the agricultural industry with the involvement of all stakeholders in the sector. For this industry to continue flourishing, there is need for investors in this sector to consider expanding their operations. On our part, government will continue to facilitate a conducive environment, which will include allowing maize exports only after satisfying our local requirements. To management and employees of African Milling Limited, your journey to get here is very encouraging to many Zambians and proves that with hard work and sheer determination, a company can grow and become very successful like you have done. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is now my singular honor and privilege and indeed a pleasure to declare the African Milling Limited expanded plant officially open. I thank you all, and may the Almighty God bless you.
Thank you. A big hand one more time, ladies and gentlemen, to the guest of honor. Before we have the vote of thanks, I'd like to invite back Tikondani Cultural Group for their last piece of entertainment.
really so honored to present the vote of thanks on behalf of African Milling on this momentous occasion. Firstly, I would like to thank His Excellency, the President, Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, and his entourage for taking time to the schedule. Mr. President, not be here today celebrating this achievement without the conducive policies and business environment created by your government, which have allowed investment of this nature to flourish. We thank you sincerely. I would also like to express our gratitude to all the government heads of department, officials, and invited guests for your attendance and being part of this special occasion. I must mention our appreciation to our Master of Ceremony, Mr. Herbert Mutabi, and of course, the drama club that have traveled all the way from Nimba district to come and entertain us. The talented Tikondane Cultural Theatre. Thank you for bringing humor to the event and making it colorful. You surely never disappoint. Respected audience, an event of this nature does not happen overnight. Therefore, I would like to thank the entire African Milling team and staff that have been working hard and been planning this event for the past few weeks to ensure its success. Your Excellency, we pledge to work hard and strive to achieve our goal of providing excellent quality milling meal at affordable prices to all Zambians as well as neighboring countries during surplus times. We will indeed exert ourselves to continue serving our fellow countrymen and women ever more effectively. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for being with us today, and thank you for your time and attention. God bless.
Thank you. We'll remain in our positions. His Excellency takes leave. Let's just put our hands together as the guest of honor departs as a way of saying thank you. I'm also going, give me a bit